Mixon has it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
23 yards on the play.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Brandon Marshall, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And that's going to leave him with just one timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead.
All right, partner, one more. Time. Our whole lives, you put the ball on the 3-yard line, kick the extra point. 2015, they put it on the 15 to kick the extra point. 2016, they said, we're leaving it there. So if you want to fake it, that's a long way to go. And they got it done.
I was going to say they had a 15-yard play in their back pocket.
You don't see that on too many play sheets, do you?
No. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline and puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Tackle made by Rasheem Green.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 3rd and 1, here's Mariota. And he hits his man, Matthews. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A Tennessee first down, that one Mariota to Matthews. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
A first down carry for Henry. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Second down, Mariota. And complete to the tight end Walker, right side. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Mariota from the gun on third down. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The road to be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson being chased out left. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
He'll dump it off to Procise. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up.
There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are running away with this one. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Janikowski good with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Out to kick is Janikowski. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Frank Clark in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 9 yards on the gain there, so he got half of it back, and it'll be third down.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Here's Mariota. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
This will be fielded at the 17. Gets around him. And another juke. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
Fighting his way through contact. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And it's caught. And certainly some style.